Hello everyone, welcome to my beauty drawers, my makeup storage. You've seen this all before. I filmed videos here, declutters and so on already in the past, but it's time for an updated spring clean and an updated declutter. This is basically starting off my spring cleaning for 2022 and I'm really excited about it. As you can see, this drawer is in need of a declutter, and we also have drawer number 2, which we will also go through. But starting off, it's even hard to open, it's so stiff. Starting off with the top drawer, as usual with my big declutters, I'm going to empty everything and then give it a good clean, and then we'll go from there. Hopefully we'll do a lot of decluttering today. Clean canvas to start with, and I'm going to start with one of my little dividers. These are from Muji, and this is where I store my bronzers. Let's start with an oldie but goodie. This is the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil Bronzer. I've hit pan on this. Can't believe it. Took a really long time. I've been using this quite a lot recently though, so I'm going to keep that. And then another one that I have been using quite a lot is in fact the Benefit Hoola bronzers. I really like these. This is the one that I'm currently using. It's just classic Hoola bronzer, so keeping that. And then I also have Hoola Glow, which I really loved during the summer months. I took this away on holiday with me and I used this a lot. I will be honest, I have a pet peeve with a lot of this type of packaging from Benefit. I just think it's too big to like store like this. Like, if you look at it, I guess it's because it has this brush, but who uses this brush? I haven't used it, and like the actual product is so minimal in there. I really think that this packaging is just way too big. But anyway, keeping those two. Then I have a bronzer from Delilah. This is in the shade Light Medium, Sunset Compact Matte bronzer. This is what it looks like. This actually looks very beautiful. I've not used it. There are quite a few I haven't used. Maybe I'm going to put the ones I haven't used down here so that I can actually like have a look through them, because I don't think I can keep that many that I've not used. This is another similar situation. This is a Sensei bronzer. It's a silky bronze natural veil compact. This has SPF 20. That's really good. So it comes like this, really beautiful, compact, and then at the bottom we have the bronzer. That's another really beautiful shade. Oh, this is going to be really hard. This is from MAC and it is the Beijing Beauty. This was a limited edition. I used this maybe 2 years ago in the summer. Really loved it. It's definitely more of a summery bronzer though, because it is quite dark. I didn't use it this summer. Will I use it next summer? Oh, I don't know. This one is a maybe. Then from Laura Mercier, this is a fairly recent edition. This is in the shade Bronze 03. It looks like this. It looks beautiful. It looks quite creamy, so that will go into my new bronzers to choose from pile. Then I have a NARS bronzer. This is NARS Laguna, which I really like actually. I've not been using it too much recently, but it is a beautiful one, so I will keep that. I've also got the Charlotte Tilbury Bronze and Glow palette. This is the Duo. This is actually a mini version, so the full size is much larger than this. This is just a mini that I have, and I really like it, so I'm going to keep that. Great little compact size. And this one is a fancy one. It comes in a little pouch, which I couldn't quite resist. This is the YSL Bronzing Stones. I got this in the summer. Took this to Portugal, but didn't use it. But honestly, I'm keeping this. I just think it's absolutely stunning. Like, it's such a luxurious product, so 100% keeping. Which leaves us with this trio. This is the Sensei, this is the Delilah, and then this is the Laura Mercier. I mean, they are all quite similar, to be honest. I think I'm going to declutter the Laura Mercier one actually, just because I think I have others that are similar, which then leaves me with the Delilah and with the Sensei. I think that the Sensei one is lighter and the Delilah one is slightly darker. I might keep both. So I didn't do an incredible job decluttering the bronzers, but it is what it is. I really want to like switch around how I store my makeup as well. So no, that's how I had it before. I'm thinking maybe having bronzers and then, I don't know, we'll see, but I just want to change it up a bit. But for now, bronzers will live there. Next storage pot has all of my blush and highlight in there. So firstly, Bare Minerals Gen Nude Blush. This is in the shade On the Mauve, and I really like this, but I haven't really used it for a very long time actually, so I think I'm going to declutter. I have two Laura Mercier blushes as well. I have the shade Rosé and the shade Fresco. The shade Rosé I'm really enjoying at the moment, so this one I'm definitely keeping. And then this is the shade Fresco, which, do you know what, that's not what I expected at all. I think I'm going to keep that as well. I think I need to give it a good try. I love, love, love this Hourglass Quad. It's one of the first Hourglass products that I ever had, and it just honestly, like, helped me fall in love with this beautiful brand, but I think I'm going to part with it. I have 3 face palettes from Hourglass at the moment, and I just don't think I need one that is solely blushes, so as much as it pains me, this one is going to go. From NARS, this is the Orgasm Blush, a real classic, keeping that. This is from Peexo. It's their On The Glow blush. This is in the shade Juicy. Really, really loved this in the summer. It might be a little bit dirty actually, but I really loved that in the summer, so I'm going to keep that. Also going to keep this stick from Jones Road. This is in the shade Bright Coral, and it's exactly that. It's a really nice bright coral. I don't know if this is actually very similar to this. Can't decide. Okay, they are actually way too similar. I'm going to declutter the Peexo and keep the Jones Road instead. I haven't used this yet. This is Drunk Elephant. It's the Oublou's Rosy Drops. I'm going to give this a go. Then I have 2 blush sticks from Hourglass. Oh, I love these. I've got a pinkier shade and then a more like neutral shade. So the shade Loyal, which is this one, I am keeping. It is my absolute go-to at the moment. And then I was planning on decluttering this pinkier toned one, but now I actually think I'm going to keep it because I've decluttered the Peexo, so I think I can keep this one. It's more of a pinky shade as well. I've only got 2 powder highlighters. I don't actually use highlight that frequently. So this is the Bare Minerals highlighter in the shade Free. This is really stunning. And then I also have the Becca Cosmetics, what was this called? Backlight. Oh, Champagne Pop. That's it. This was stunning. I mean, it is such a classic. And I'm trying to think. I only want to keep one because honestly, I just don't use highlighter enough to sort of justify keeping both of them. I really don't get that much use out of it. I've just like stubbed my finger into this highlighter. So that's how my day's going. But I think I'm going to keep Champagne Pop, Declutter the Bare Minerals. And then I also have a mini Laura Mercier powder. This is in the shade Translucent, but it's their Glow Loose Setting Powder, which is, I suppose, like a powder highlight. Not really the type of product that I use, so I'm going to declutter. I've been using this Beauty Pie Pro Glow Perfect Highlighting Stick. I've used this a couple of times and I actually do like it, so I think I will hold on to that. From Sculpted by Amy, I have the Liquid Lights Pink Champagne Liquid Highlighter. I haven't yet used this, but I've heard good things about this brand, so I'm going to keep that and hopefully give a go. And I think that's it, crazily, so that is looking very empty. I did also find this Fenty Beauty Stick. This is in the shade Walnut. It's essentially like a cream bronzer, and I was actually thinking to myself the other day that I really want to try a cream bronzer. Didn't even know what I already had, so going to put this to the test very soon. Because we did such a good job in this section, I think I may put in my 3 Hourglass palettes in there. They're basically face palettes. I love these. So starting off with the Ambient Lighting Edit Universe. This is so stunning. Like, oh, just look at these. Hourglass is the one brand that I really cannot part with. I just love everything that they do. And then I also have this one, which is the Ambient Lighting Edit in the shade Universe Unlocked. This is beautiful. It's just much richer than the previous palette I shared. I think this will be gorgeous in the summer. This is the Ambient Lighting Edit in Sculpture, and it looks like this. Loved this one over the summer. Really stunning. As I said, this is why I decluttered the highlighting quad, because I mean this is so similar to that, but it's just got more there. Okay, I have to say I'm actually really impressed with how much I've managed to fit in there. So far, so good. My mascara lives in one of these pots, but also I have all of these as well. Mascara is my weakness. I don't know. There's just something about mascara, isn't there? So I'm going to empty out this pot, give it a good clean, and then we will go through my mascaras. I'm thinking about keeping mascaras here in this section. And do you know what? I'm going to count how many mascaras I have. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, oh gosh, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14, 15, 16, 17, and then still on my lap, 18, 19. So 19 mascaras. Out of those 19, these 4 are currently open. So I actually think that in that sense, I do quite a good job. Like, I don't have them all open and just all going off. I do try to sort of limit how many I have open at once. So these 4 are the ones that I have open at the moment. Obviously, keeping L'Oreal Lash Paradise Waterproof, just my favourite. I've also been using the Maybelline Lash Sensational in Very Black. I typically use this for my lower lashes, where I use standard mascara, and also if I want to like layer and build more of a volumized look, I will use this over my Lash Paradise. Then I have this Marc Jacobs mascara, which honestly I absolutely adore, but unfortunately I don't think Marc Jacobs Beauty exists anymore, and I started using this in the summer. So I mean, this has been open for like 6 months, and that's way too long for a mascara. For mascaras, you should only use them for like 3 to 4 months really, so this one has got to go into my empties, sadly. Then I have this, which is a fairly new launch from Maybelline. This is the Curl Bounce Colossal Mascara. Didn't do anything for my lashes, to be honest with you. I gave it like a good try as well, because I do think that some mascaras need to be like open and dry out a little bit. Like, you need to give it a little, you need to give it some room, you know, some room to get better. But this one for me is just not it, so that's decluttering. And then these, oh my gosh, loads. This is a fairly new launch from YSL, which I'm going to keep because I would quite like to try that. This is such bulky packaging. Next up, Too Faced Better Than Sex Waterproof Mascara. I haven't used this mascara in such a long time, but I used to really like it, so I'm very excited to try the waterproof version. And actually this packaging is from their Too Femme collaboration, which is really, really beautiful. Then I have L'Oreal's Lash Telescopic Mascara. I've heard good things about this. This has apparently been around for like ever, basically, but I've never tried it, so very excited to try that. This is a Lancome Monsieur Big. This is an oldie that I've had in my collection for a while because it's this gorgeous like packaging. I think it was like a Valentine's special packaging. I don't know if I'll ever use this, you know, I just love the packaging. And same with this one as well, actually. This is another Lancome mascara. This is the Hypnose Drama, and again, it's just in this absolutely stunning limited edition packaging. So I think I'm just going to put these somewhere else where I keep other cute limited edition packaging. Also Lancome, this is the Lash Idol in waterproof. I was so excited to see a waterproof version of this mascara because I have heard really good things, so going straight into my collection, and that's one for me to test out. Then I have NARS Climax Mascara. This has been around for a while now, I would say. I remember having it when it launched and I really loved it, but I lost it. How weird, like I just could never find it again, so I'm actually really happy to have another one. This is the L'Oreal Volume Million Lashes. I actually recently finished one of these and I just don't think it's like that great, so I'm going to declutter. I also have a L'Oreal Lash Paradise in the original version, which, believe it or not, I've never ever tried the original version, but I don't know if it's going to do much for me, and I love the waterproof version, so I think because this is new, I may as well give it to someone else to try. I have a backup of my beloved Lash Paradise. I always have a backup. And then I have these, which are all new and still boxed, which kind of tempts me to be like, right, let me just put them to the side and give them away. But I think there are a few of these I would actually really like to try. First is the Bare Minerals Strength and Length Serum Infused Mascara. I just love the sound of that. And they also have a brow pomade, or like a brow gel in this range, which I absolutely adore. So if this is anything like that, I think I'll really like that. So I'm going to keep it. Next is the Urban Decay Lash Freaky Volume. There was so much hype around this mascara when it launched. I can't remember how long ago it launched, but I know it was super hyped. So I think I'll keep that. And now I feel like I've done a really good job with this pot, and it's actually like fitting everything in there really well. So I'm quite pleased about that. I know I have these two out there, but let's just ignore that. So I think out of these three, I am going to keep two of them. The first, okay, this is from Ardell, and it's the Splash Party Waterproof Mascara. I genuinely think this has been in my declutter videos like since I started doing them 2 years ago, so it's been here for a while. This has to be the mascara that I use next, like when I finish my L'Oreal waterproof, or I might just open it, you know, and give it a try, because sometimes waterproof mascaras don't quite cut it. So I think I will try this one next. And then I'm torn between Jones Road and Laura Mercier. The Laura Mercier is called Caviar Volume, and Jones Road is called... oh, it's just called the mascara. That's funny. I thought it would have like a specific name or something. So I'm toying between both of these. Both of these are like volume mascaras. And I don't know. I think I'm going to keep Jones Road. I'm quite like intrigued by the brand. I would also, actually, let me see if I can... this is cheating, but I'm going to see if I can take them out of the packaging. And if I do that, if I can maybe keep both of them. If they both fit like just back here. This is not the way to do a declutter, but oh no, this one's quite chunky. Oh, does it? Oh, not quite. Not quite, but it's not too bad. So I might just keep all three. Let's move on to primers next. First, I'll start with some of the more like glowy style products that I have. So I've got the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. This is discontinued. I don't think you can get this anymore, so probably time to declutter. Similar to that, this is the Delilah Pure Light Liquid Radiance, and I used this in the summer. I did like it, but I think even in the summer this was just a bit too dark for me, so gonna declutter. I think somebody else would probably get more use out of this. Then I have the Vive Skin Dew. It's a glow multitasker, I suppose, more of like a liquid highlight. So I'm gonna keep this with my highlighters. Does it fit? Yeah, just about perfect. And then I have the Vive Skin Nova Instant Radiance Primer. I love this. This is so beautiful. I've basically worn it every day since I've got it, and I really love it, so keeping that. Then from Beauty Pie, this is the Wonder Filter Brightening Primer. I am going to declutter this one. From YSL, I really want to try this. This is their Touche Eclat Primer, but I mean, I'm sure you can probably tell it's literally like got sparkles in there, and I really don't know how this will look on the skin, so I want to give it a go before I dismiss it entirely, so I'll keep hold of that. Next, I have a Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer. This is the hydrating one. I've never tried Laura Mercier primers, so I'm going to keep that to give it a try. And then two primers from Hourglass. I have the Veil Mineral Primer Oil Free with SPF 15, and then I've also got the Vanish Airbrush Primer. The Vanish is the most recent edition. This one I've been using recently. I do quite enjoy it, but to be honest, it's not one of my favourites, and I don't think I need to keep both of them, so I think I will declutter Veil, which is the older primer, and keep Vanish, which is their newer launch. And that feels like a very good job. There are literally only 4 primers there, which I think is excellent. Let's move to foundations next, and I'll start with the sort of like creamy style ones, like tinted moisturizers almost. I have quite a lot of those. Starting with what I'll keep, this is the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer Oil Free. I've been using this so much recently and I really love it, so keeping that one. This is the Maybelline Dream Urban Cover Full Coverage SPF 50. This doesn't really suit me. It's not the right shade for me. I did test it out the other day. I tried it out, but it's just not quite right for me, so I'm going to declutter. Then I've got the Givenchy Ton Couture City Balm. I love this. It's too dark for me at the moment, but it's perfect in the summer. I used it last summer and I absolutely adored it, so I'm hoping to finish it up this summer. There's not that much left in there, so hopefully I'll use it this summer. I've also got the new Super BB Cream by Aborian. Aborian is L'Occitane's sister brand. They're inspired by like Korean skincare, so it's a really lovely brand and I'm very excited to test out this Super BB Cream. So that is staying. But in its place, I'm actually going to declutter the other two products that I have from Aborian. This is the BB Cream and this is the CC Dull Correct. I just think that the Super BB is basically the best of all of them. And this is going to sound so bad, but packaging wise, like these are too big to stand here. And so then it really like, I don't know, it just doesn't quite work with these drawers. So I am going to declutter them. I have others, so yeah. Same goes for these two from It Cosmetics. These are the CC creams. I think these are beautiful. Like, I really do love them. I have the illuminating and then the original. I think what I'm going to do though, I'm not going to get rid of these completely. I think I'm going to take them to my boyfriend's house. I keep a bag of some of my fave makeup bits at my boyfriend's house as well. And I think this is where these may go because they're really good, and I wouldn't like to see myself get rid of them entirely because I have nothing to replace them. Like, I have nothing else from It Cosmetics, so I think these will just move to a new home. Definitely keeping NARS Sheer Glow Foundation. I have two shades of this. I have the shade Medium 1.5 and also Light 4.5, which I alternate between them in winter and summer when my skin tone changes, when I'm either tanned or not tanned. So keeping both of those. I'm going to declutter the Benefit Hello Happy foundation. I have this in the shade 2. I've used this like once or twice. I just don't love a foundation, you know, so I think I'm going to declutter. Same goes for this one from Bare Minerals. This is the original liquid mineral foundation with SPF 20. This is just way too dark for me. This is in the shade Medium Beige, which is too dark. I think even in the summer this is going to be too dark, so I've not used it, so somebody else can use that. I've also got the L'Oreal True Match Nude. This is their tinted serum, which I really like. This is in the shade 4 to 5 medium though, so it's quite dark, but I do use it because it's a serum. I don't think it's like too high coverage. I think you can blend this out quite nicely, and I think it will be beautiful in the summer as well. Some newbies. First up from L'Oreal, this is the Infallible 32 Hours Fresh Wear Foundation. I have this in the shade 100 Linen. I think I'll keep this. I want to at least give it a go. I haven't tried it yet. Also new from YSL, this is the Touche Eclat foundation, and I have this in the shade B10, which another one I've not tried and I want to try, so I'll keep hold of that. And then also from Hourglass, really excited about this because I've heard so many people rave about this. I have this in the shade Ivory, and it's the Hourglass foundation sticks, which, I mean, people rave about, so I'm very excited to give this a go. Definitely keeping. I've also got this bronzing gel from Sensai. It's SPF 6, which is really random, but I've seen people use this to basically like tan their face almost, so it just offers like a really beautiful, healthy glow. I guess it's kind of like a bronzing product, so I will keep this with my bronzers. Does it fit? It will fit upside down, so I guess it will just live there upside down. Let's do concealers next. This is my concealer pot, and then I do have a slight overflow of concealers as well, which are just these three, so nothing too drastic, but I will empty this out and then give it a clean, and then we'll start on concealers. First, I have the Bare Minerals Bare Skin. This is actually the old formula of this concealer by Bare Minerals, so I'm going to declutter. This is the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye concealer. This is raved about so much. I'm so unsure about this one. I'm going to keep it. I feel like I really need to test it out. This is the Bare Minerals Bare Pro in the shade Medium Warm. It's quite dark for me at the moment though, so I think I'm going to declutter it. This is the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Concealer. I have this in the shade 1N and it's quite a nice one, so I'm going to keep that. This is the L'Oreal True Match Eye Cream in a concealer. I actually got rid of this in a declutter and then brought it back. And I've been using this at the moment, so I'm going to keep that. When I finish this declutter, I will have everything kind of like sitting in a bag or like a box for a while, and then if I do like miss something, I can go back and grab it. I feel like that's a really good way to like test it. Like, if you don't miss it in your collection, no problem. If you do miss it, then you may want it. This is the Bare Minerals Original Concealer. This is their new formulation. As you can see, the packaging is different. However, this is in the shade This is in the shade Light 2C, but this is just not light. This is a really, really dark concealer in my opinion, and too dark for me, so decluttering. I've been using and loving the Benefit Buoying Concealer. This is their Cakeless Concealer. This is the shade number 3, which I'm really enjoying. Then I have NARS Sheer Radiant Creamy Concealer. This is the shade Vanilla, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Light 2 Vanilla, which is lovely to brighten under the eyes. This is a newer launch from Benefit. It's their Buoying Bright On Concealer, so it's more focused for under eyes. I have this in the shade Nectarine. I've not yet used it, but if it's anything like the original, I think I'll really love it. I have a YSL Touche Eclat as well, which is a classic, 100% keeping that. And then from Dr. Hauschka, this is the Light Reflecting Concealer. I've actually not used this. I think I will keep it because I haven't yet tried it, and good to give it a go. I've got the Maybelline Instant Anti-Age Eraser. This is raved about so much, so I really want to try it. I've got this in the shade 01 Light. Then I've got 2 concealers from Hourglass. These are, don't know what they're called, just the concealer I suppose. I have the shade Sepia and I have the shade Cedar as well. So I'm going to keep both of them. One is slightly lighter, one is slightly darker. I've not yet used them, so when I do, I'll see what works for me. And then finally, this is the L'Oreal Infallible More Than Concealer. This is in the shade Cashew 329. This was sent to me alongside this foundation, and I just can't get over like the colour differences. I don't know if you can tell, but the foundation is so much lighter than the concealer, which I feel like is really unusual, but I don't know. I've not tried either, so I don't know. I would quite like to give this a go though, but it's going to be that annoying thing that like if it doesn't fit, I may not keep it. I think it's going to have to be this one, you know, this L'Oreal one. I do think it's just going to be too dark. I'm going to swatch it and then I'll see. If it's too dark, it will go. If not, I'll try and do some rearranging later. We are on to the final hurdle right now, onto powders. And I'll start off with this actually. This is also L'Oreal Infallible Collection, and this is a foundation in a powder. I have this in the shade 140 Golden Beige, and once again it's just quite dark. I don't really use powder foundations either. I don't own any other than this one, so I think I'm just going to declutter. Also going to declutter these two. This is the NARS Translucent Crystal powder, and I don't know, I can't remove this now. I don't know how well you can tell, but it's got like sparkle running through almost, so going to declutter that. I think I've only ever swatched this, I've not even used it. And then from Bare Minerals, this is the Original Mineral Veil in Translucent. I have used this, you can probably tell, but I prefer others, so I'm going to declutter. Definitely keeping these two powders, the Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder and then the Laura Mercier Loose Setting Powder as well. I just love them. And then from Rodial, quite a peachy tone there, and I really want to give this a go. I've said that before, but hopefully this will be the time that I do. And oh my gosh, I can't believe it, but we have a bit of space here, which is crazy. Moving down to drawer number 2. It's looking quite messy, can't lie, but we're going to do the same as previously. I'm going to empty it and then we'll go from there. I mean, just this is an overflow of lipsticks, which shouldn't be here, so maybe a lipstick declutter will be on the cards next. So I'm going to start by going through brows. Let's start with brow pencils. I've just popped them in here. In an ideal situation, I would have them in here, but I don't know if you can tell, but basically like it won't close. They're just too big, so that's very annoying. But these are the brow pencils I have. This is what I'm currently using at the moment. This is the Nude Sticks Dirty Blonde Eyebrow Pencil, I suppose. So on one side it's got a pencil and then the other side actually has a gel. I do like using this. It's not quite the right colour on me, but it's very nearly finished, so I'm going to finish that up. I have quite a lot of Benefit products. I really love the products that they do. This is the Brow Styler. On one side we have a pencil and then the other side we have kind of like a powder. I've not used that yet. I think I'll hold on to it. This is in the shade it's in the shade 5. Oh, I'm not sure. I think 5 will be too dark, so I think I'm going to declutter that. Then this is the Goof Proof Brow Pencil. This is in the shade 4. Love that. This is the Precisely My Brow in the shade, another shade 5. But I really like the Precisely My Brow because it's really thin. So I think I will keep this one, even though it's quite dark. This is another Goof Proof Brow Pencil in the shade 3. Usually I go for either a 3 or a 4. They're the shades that I prefer. And then this is the Bravo Conditioning Primer. I don't think I've actually used this one. I think this is a brand new one. So I think I'm going to declutter it. I'm currently loving the IT Cosmetics Brow Power. This is like a universal shade. It somehow is magic and just works with your brows. So I'm going to keep that. This is a like felt tip style. It's from Suku, and I just don't love a felt tip style for my brows. I don't think I've ever used one successfully, so I'm going to declutter. This is the same sort of thing. Bare Minerals. It's their Feather Brow Refining Pen, but going to declutter. It's a felt tip style. This is from a brand called Sprout. These are actually like compostable. I don't know if you can see, but in here there are like little seeds. So when you're finished with this product, you can plant it, which I think is such a good idea. This is their eyebrow pencil. It's in the shade Brown Brunette. Oops, which is my hair colour, so I think I'm going to keep that and give it a go. And these are some Too Faced eyebrow pencils as well. I have 2 super fine brow detailers and then 1 pomade in a pencil. I have these in different shades, and actually these 2 lighter ones are too light for me, unfortunately, so I'm going to have to declutter both of them because, I mean, I've been holding on to them, but they're just too light, so I don't think I'm going to use them. And I have the same in the darker colour. I think I have this at my boyfriend's house, and then this is the darker colour of the super fine liner, so just going to keep the darker shade. Brow gels. This is my favourite. It's the 24-hour brow setter from Benefit, keeping that. Then I have 2 Gimme Brows. One is in the shade 4, the other is in the shade 5. I think I will keep shade 4, declutter shade 5. And I've also got another 24-hour brow setter still in the box, so I'll keep that as a backup. I have 2 of the Bare Minerals Strength and Length Serum Infused Brow Gel. I have one in clear and one in the shade Coffee. I really, really love the shade Coffee. In this, I think it's great. I'm half tempted to declutter the like clear version, but because it's like serum infused, I think I'll just hold on to both. Then I've got the Maybelline Tattoo Brow. It's like an peel off tint, but I really like the Schwarzkopf tint, and I feel like I've like mastered that, so I'm going to declutter this. Then from Beauty Pie, this is their Brow Sculpting Gel. This is the clear version. I've also got the tinted version at my boyfriend's house actually, so I think, I don't know, but I'm going to keep it. I've also got a Too Faced brow wig. This is the brow gel. This is in the shade medium brown though, so it's the colour that is slightly lighter for me. But maybe, I don't know. I think I'll try it. Because it's a gel, I think I can maybe go with like a darker pencil and just put this over the top, and it might still work. So I'm going to test it out. And then from Refi, I have their, I mean, what is this even called? I don't know, but you know, their brow gel, you've got this spoolie situation at the top, and then it's just like their white, almost like glue. I've been experimenting with this, and I actually think it's a really cool product. I got it for my birthday / Christmas, so really excited about this, and I'm going to keep it. I've also just found this. This is from Barry M. It's their Fix Me Up Brow Tamer, kind of like a brow gel style similar to Refi, but I've got Refi, so I don't need this. I'm going to declutter. In this box is where I usually keep some of these things. I've just got some cotton buds there, which I usually use whenever I do some mess with my mascara application. But okay, let's go eyelash curlers. I keep some tools in here. These are the Tweezerman ones, which are the ones that I'm using the most at the moment. Then I also have the Kevin Aquan, and then this is the Schumacher. Currently Tweezerman I think are fantastic, but I'm going to keep all 3 of these. Eyelash curlers are essentials in my eyelash routine. Some extra spongy bits, which again I'm going to keep. I have 3 sharpeners here as well, which I suppose do come in handy. So I might actually declutter this Peexo one because it's not got like a cover like these two do. So this one can go, and I'll just keep, this is a Charlotte Tilbury one and this is a masked one. I have some mini beauty blend sponges in here. I've got a beauty blender somewhere as well. I'm not sure where. I think that probably needs to be cleaned as well. Then I have one of these soaps which you can use to clean them. So I will keep all of this together, but for now I actually need to give it a good clean, so I'll put it elsewhere. These are some of my tweezers. I've got 2 from Tweezerman, 1 from Ruby and 1 from Masked. I would say like Ruby and Tweezerman are probably like my top. Really like them. And then this is my little brow duo. These are little scissors from Masked and then a spoolie also from Masked. This is what I use to trim my eyebrows, so I'm keeping that. And then I've also got this like comb for your eyelashes, which is from Tweezerman. I mean, I don't know. I don't really understand this, but I'll keep it. I've got 2 little mirrors as well, which come in handy when I'm doing my makeup, so I will keep those as well. And I think that's it on the tool front. Sorry, that went really random. We went from makeup onto tools, but I just wanted to get this box back in here. And I found another mirror. This is a Paul and Joe mirror, so I'm going to keep that as well. I have 3 sets of false eyelashes. Honestly, I don't know the last time I put on false eyelashes, but I'm going to keep them because I do like them and I feel like what ifs. So this is the Fleur de Force Simply Flare. They're really beautiful. Then I've also got the Eyelure Naturals 3/4 length, and then the Eyelure Byrony Blake collaboration, and these are just like individual lashes. Some setting sprays. This is actually finished. This is Max Fix Plus, which I really do love using, but it's finished, so that can go into my empties. Then I have 2 Urban Decay all-nighters. This is the original and then this is the honey. I'm going to keep both of them. They're a great size to fit in here. And then this is from L'Oreal. It's the Infallible Mattifying Setting Spray. I'm tempted by this one because it's mattifying, and I have definitely had 1 or 2 occasions where my makeup has just ended up being a little bit too creamy, but the fact that this doesn't fit standing up, just like, ugh, it really ruins the vibe. But I'm going to leave it here for now, and then we'll see. I think I'm going to declutter all of this. This is the Lottie Glitter Fix, so kind of like a glue for glitters. And then here I have this individual glitter from Lottie. I mean, it's stunning. It's so beautiful, but I've not used this ever, and I really don't know if I ever will, so I don't know. I do quite like the look of that though. This is a Barry M Dazzle Dust, which is really stunning, just a gorgeous gold, but I don't use it, so I'm going to declutter it. This is a Lord & Berry, the same sort of thing. It's a glitter in bright pink, stunning as well, but I don't use it, so I'm going to declutter. This is by MAC, and it is their Sweet Heat Extra Dimension eyeshadow. This is actually a like Christmas collaboration. I've not used this. It just seems to be a shame to like keep it here if I'm not using it, so I'm going to declutter. And then finally, this is from Illamasqua. This is one that I have used and actually do love. This is their Iconic Chrome Pigment. It's in a gorgeous purple. I just love this for like a purple eye look. I've done a purple eye look like once or twice, but I really loved it. But I'm going to declutter it, you know. I mean, there's no point me holding on to this because I may do a purple eye one time in a year, you know. So gonna declutter. I think though I am actually going to keep these because I really do think they're beautiful. Like, they're so stunning. So I think I'll hold on to this. I have 3 eyeshadow primers. This is the Hourglass Veil Eye Primer, which I'm going to keep. This is the Too Faced Shadow Insurance 24-hour eyeshadow primer, also going to keep. And then this is the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion, which is probably the one that I use the most. I actually think I'm going to take this one to my boyfriend's house because I don't have one there at the moment, and then I will keep these 2 here in my collection, and this one I will take to my boyfriend's. I have this glitter shadow from Stila. It's in the shade Kitty, or is it Kitten? In the shade Smitten Kitten. It's a classic for them, and I think I'm going to hold on to it. And then I've got some eyeshadow sticks. So first up, from Laura Mercier, this is in the shade Rose Gold. Oh, it really is beautiful, but I don't use these. This is the Bare Minerals Bare Pro eyeshadow stick in the shade Gilded Sun. Oh, really beautiful again. Oh, they're all beautiful. I just don't use them. Then this is the Bobbi Brown Longwear Cream Shadow Stick, which is a nice like brownie colour, but I think I'm going to get rid of all of them. This is Laura Mercier. This still in the packaging. So I think that means I'm going to declutter it. Oh yeah, this is a really nice red though. This is in the shade Raspberry. Really nice, just not my kind of thing, you know, and if I'm not really using it, if I haven't used it, I feel like keeping them for the sake of having them is silly, so I'm going to declutter them all. And to be honest, I should be just as ruthless with eyeliner. I do not use eyeliner, like I just don't. So the fact that I have, I mean, a gold eyeliner, another sort of bronzy colour, and a blue seems ridiculous, but I'm tempted to keep blue, you know. I think it might be fun. This is the Charlotte Tilbury one in brown. This is a nude colour, which I guess could actually be quite a good one. So I think I'll keep this. This is, what is this? Line and Lash. Oh, this is a glue kind of thing. I think that probably needs to be decluttered. And then I have a Marc Jacobs Beauty liquid eyeliner, which I'm going to declutter, and then a Lancome Ultra Precise waterproof liner. Oh, I didn't know that was waterproof. I think I'll keep these three. One waterproof, one brown, a nude, and then I kept a blue because why not, I guess. Which leads me onto eyeshadow palettes now. I'll start off with NARS. Honestly, I actually want to get rid of the majority of these. I don't use them. Like, I really don't reach for them. So I think it's a bit silly for me to keep so many. But we'll start off with NARS. This is the Skin Deep palette. Oh, there we go. It's really beautiful. It's got some really beautiful like neutral tones there, which are lovely, but for someone who literally just uses their bronzer these days to wash over with some colour over the lids, I feel like it's silly for me to keep this, so I'm going to declutter. Number 2 from NARS, this is the shade Atomic Blonde. I loved this because it's got a bronzer and a highlight there. I actually used this over the summer for the first time, but the eyeshadow shades are just really shimmery, and I know you're meant to like mix and match it, but I don't need this. This is the High Profile Face Palette by NARS. I have to be honest, like, the NARS face palettes, I don't really know if they do much for me, to be honest with you, but I'm going to keep this one. It's one of the most recent additions, and I really like the blush colours here, so I'll keep this one. From Bobbi Brown, this is their Luxe Precious Metals eyeshadow palette. These are all sparkles, as you can see. I got my finger in there, very annoying. They're all sparkly shades though, so not really my cup of tea, so I'm going to declutter. Then from Bare Minerals, this is the Mineralist Burnished eyeshadow palette. It's got some really pretty colours in there, but I don't know, it's not really my go-to, and I much prefer from Bare Minerals this, which is the Gen Nude Neutral eyeshadow palette. Oops. I think I've had these in my collection for so long, and I just love like the shades in here. I guess they're not too dissimilar to these ones. These ones are just like slightly pinkier and brighter, and these you can, in my opinion, achieve slightly more. So I'm going to keep the Gen Nude palette and declutter this one. Another NARS palette that I actually missed out before. This is the Dolce Vita. This was a Christmas special. I really like this palette. It's small but it's mighty, so I'm going to keep it. The Naked Heat, it's got gorgeous shades in there, but I don't use them. The Wild West palette I've never really used, and then the Ultraviolet I've never used either. I might just, do you know what, I might be ruthless here and declutter all three of them. And seeing as I have decluttered all three of those, I think I will keep the Illamasqua one, just because it's the only one that has like colours. I've also got a Charlotte Tilbury quad. This is the Vintage Vamp, which has really pretty colours. It's actually quite similar to that NARS one, but I'm going to keep it because it's Charlotte Tilbury and I do love their products. From Huda Beauty, this is the Coral Obsessions. Oops. This is the Coral Obsessions palette. It's really beautiful. It's got stunning yellow in there and then just lots of warmy tones. I kind of feel like this is a good replacement for Urban Decay's Naked Heat palette, but do I need it? Maybe I'll hold on to it. It's a little one, so yeah. Oh, and then I got sent this from Fenty Beauty. It's still in the packaging because I was very much like, will I ever use this? It's just the colours. Like, the colours aren't necessarily like my kind of colours, and I really don't know if I see myself wearing these, if I'm being completely honest with you. I like that green, I like that blue, I like that pink. Maybe I could keep this instead of the Illamasqua one, because this, I would be honest, I kind of keep it mostly for these two colours, and there is a nice blue, two nice blues in here. They're not quite the same in terms of like pigment, but yeah, let's do that. Let's declutter the Illamasqua and keep the Fenty Beauty. this is what we're left with. I think we've done a really good job here. Oh my gosh, this is so empty. Even the top drawer is so empty. I'm gonna have a bit of a play around to see if, like, could I fit everything into one drawer only? I feel like that would be the dream. I've spent so long moving things around, but I think I'm quite happy with how it is at the moment. So to finish off the video, I thought I would briefly run you through how I kept everything in this section. I have my primers. Then here I have some foundations as well as tinted moisturizers here. I've kept my powders here. On top I've got the Laura Mercier because that's the one I use the most, and I feel like it's fairly easy for you to like grab it. So that I've got there in that section. Then in these 4 pots here, I've got one with concealer, as I did usually. I have another with my brow products, and what I did to fit in these slightly longer brow products was remove the lids. This one has already bent, actually. It was a bit too long, but I mean, that's gonna work. It's okay. I have kept the lids, like if I travel with them or anything, I can put the lids back on. But while they're in here, they're just gonna live lidless. Hopefully that's okay. Here I have my mascaras. I've got one extra here that I couldn't squeeze in here, so I've got 9 there, and then this is my backup as well, which I've kept in here, a backup of the 24-hour brow setter as well, and then just the 4 liners that I kept, and my eyeshadow primers are here as well. I think that works out okay. Here at the back I have 2 setting sprays, so both of them, these 2 that I kept from Urban Decay, and then I've just got the palettes here. So because I just kept like small palettes, they all fit really nicely here, and I don't necessarily like reach for them that often, so I think they're quite nice tucked in there. And then here I've got bronzers, which I think is what I have the most of at the moment. It's bronzers, but I've kept them all here. I've also got the cream one here and the liquid bronzer there as well, so they all live there. And then in this final pot I have my basically blush. So these are my powder blushes, this is that highlight, these are blushes as well, so a mix of cream and liquid blushes, and highlights as well actually. These 2 are highlights. And then here towards the back I have my 3 palettes from Hourglass, which are slightly harder to reach admittedly, but I feel like I don't reach for those as often anyway, and they fit nicely there. And this is what I'm left with. I'm quite happy with it, you know. I think we've done a really good job. Can't believe I went from 2 drawers down to 1. I'm really quite impressed. I've just kept my tools in here because obviously I am still going to need them, so I just kept my beauty tools in here. These are still like excess lipsticks that I need to go through, but I have literally decluttered a crate full of product. Like, I did not expect to declutter this much. I really think we've done an excellent job. But yeah, this is what we're left with. Makeup declutter done and dusted. I think my spring cleaning has gone off to a very good start, if I do say so myself. I am honestly like really impressed that I haven't like hoarded onto too many things. Next I'm going to go through the makeup bag that I keep at my boyfriend's house. I've got a few things that I decluttered from here that I might move over there instead, but I'm going to have a little bit of a sort through that as well. Let me know if you'd like me to film that too. It's definitely less makeup than I have in like my main collection at home, but let me know if you're interested in that. Spring clean number 1 done and dusted.